Hey guys, I'm Pessy. I'm a certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, and I'm just all about health and wellness for the mind, body, and soul. And I'm just here today to talk about how to have unshakable confidence. I really wanted to talk about this because this is something that I worked on a lot, and I feel like I've gotten to a point now where I feel very confident in my confidence, just because of the way I've been handling certain situations lately and the way I've been dealing with doubt or insecurity. I feel like I'm at a good space right now, and I would love to tell you how I got here and steps that you can take and mindset shifts that you should make if you are someone who is struggling with confidence, or if you are someone who is wanting to build better confidence, anything like that. So I just wanted to talk today about that. If you see me looking down at all, it's because I wrote notes down. I wanted to be very purposeful with this podcast chat episode. I wanted to really be clear with like the different steps and the different things that I have in my mind. So I wrote them all down, and so if you see me looking down, that's why. But I wanted to first start with really explaining what exactly does unshakable confidence mean, like to me in general. So like for me, unshakable confidence doesn't mean that you're never faced with doubt or you're never faced with insecurity. Instead, unshakable confidence really means that you have built the ability to, when faced with doubt, when faced with insecurity, just bounce back and talk yourself out of it and bring yourself back to a place of self-confidence very easily, right? So it's a skill. Basically, confidence is a feeling, and feelings you can really learn to control through practicing different types of practices that will help you control more of how you're feeling. Because at the end of the day, feelings really revolve around how we think, and thoughts is something that we can control for the most part. We can't control like the first thought that pops into our head, but we can control the second thought, or the thought that counters it, or the thought that precedes the first thought, right? So your emotions being surrounded by your thoughts, being affected by your thoughts, means that you can really, at the core of it, control for the most part how you're feeling, or redirect how you're feeling. So I wanted to also really define what like insecurity is and like where it comes from. And for the most part, insecurity comes from a lack of feeling that you aren't good enough for whatever it is in any type of way. And insecurity comes from your ego at the end of the day. It comes from a place of pride, and a lot of the times we don't even recognize that, because you could kind of think that pride would coincide with confidence, but it's actually the opposite. Pride a lot of the times is what makes people insecure, because your ego and your pride is something that fears rejection, and feeling insecure is the part of you that fears rejection. Feeling insecure is the part of you that feels that it's not good enough. And the part of you that fears rejection is the part of you that feels like it's not good enough, and that feels like it will get rejected, or that a part that you won't believe in yourself as much if you get rejected from something. So our ego makes us feel insecure to protect itself, to protect its pride, to keep yourself in a place of scarcity, in a place of lack, so that you're not faced with situations where you might feel rejection, because your ego is so scared of getting its pride hurt, right? So we already know the ego is not good for us. Some of the work of life is trying to rid ourselves of the ego, because operating from a place of ego is just not going to help you get to where you want to be. The reason why we're trying to build confidence is so that we could live our best life, embody our highest self, be the best version of ourselves, achieve what we want to achieve, feel like our best, you know? And a really big part of feeling our best is being confident. Confidence is really built internally, and sometimes we can see people and we think they have confidence, but it's obvious when someone's confidence is built off of external validation, because the real confidence, the real unshakable confidence, is the confidence that's built from your own work, from your own belief in yourself. And where the real confidence is. Like, no amount of people's validation, no amount of people telling you you're cool, you're pretty, you're sexy, you know you got it, is gonna really bring you unshakable confidence. Because the second that person decides to change their mind, what's gonna happen? Now you're not confident anymore. That's why the confidence has to be built internally. So let's start on how you can build the confidence internally. My first foremost step is to really understand yourself. Really explore yourself and understand what your core principles are, what your core values are, what you want out of life, who you want to be. Really take time to figure out who you want to be. Like, what kind of values and characteristics does your best version of yourself have? Because when you have that understanding, then you can now operate from a place of knowing what decisions to make, because what aligns with that version of yourself, what aligns with that best version of yourself, what aligns with the principles and characteristics and values that your higher self wants to constantly embody. Like, for me, some of my core principles is loyalty, passion, empathy, honesty. So me having an understanding of what my core principles are and values makes me better be able to make decisions that align with that. And when you're that helps you be confident in your decision. And confident decision making is what breeds us to be more confident people, because that means all the decisions that you're making and all the things that come along with it are aligned with how you want to live your life and who the best version of yourself looks like, and which leads you to be proud of yourself. And when you're proud of yourself and when you're proud of the decisions you're making, it's that much easier to be confident in what you're doing. Number 2, which is to stop giving a fuck about what people think of you. This is literally like such a big, huge step in my own journey and everybody's journey of confidence. When we're building internal confidence, it's building that ability to stop caring what other people think about you. Like, we live our life constantly trying to, meet people's expectations or try to exceed people's expectations of us, and sometimes that can lead us to just making decisions based off of how people will view whatever you're doing, how people will view whatever you're saying, how people will view whoever you're talking to, and then your whole life is based around external validation, and that's the opposite of what will bring you unshakable internal confidence, right? So we have to start shifting our focus on, who's watching me, what will they think, how will they think about me, to really the only person's opinion that matters about your life is yourself. So like I said, once you understand what you want out of life, once you understand what principles, values align with you, then what matters is that you're following through on what aligns with you. And then you're the only person who has to understand what you're doing. You're the only person who knows your journey. You're the only person that really knows your thoughts, your headspace, why you're doing what you're doing. And so therefore, just focusing on how you feel about what you're doing and how you feel about yourself is what matters. And letting go of anybody's opinions on you is a huge thing. It's really hard to do. It is very hard to do, especially if you're very conditioned. I wanted to say this. Some people, it's easier to find natural confidence than others. That's okay. Everybody has their own weaknesses and their own strengths, right? We're not here on a comparison journey. We are here in our own journey. So stop comparing yourself, which is number 3. To stop the comparison journey, like, you have to be living your life with like blinders on, in a way. Like, the only reason you should be looking at what other people are doing and is for inspiration. Honestly, you shouldn't be staring at people's accomplishments or people's possessions or people's opinions unless it's like coming from a place of inspiration, a place of motivation. Because if you're just looking at people and using it as a way to tear yourself down, it literally serves zero purpose in your life. Part of building internal confidence is recognizing what exactly isn't serving you and what's bringing you further into the hole of insecurity and to trying to get rid of it, right? And a big thing that helps people keep staying in an insecurity and self-doubt mindset is constantly comparing where you're at in life, how you feel about yourself, all this stuff to what other people are doing. That literally doesn't help you in any type of way. Like, it really doesn't serve a purpose, and we have to start to get rid of it, right? Let's stop caring about people's opinions of us, because are they paying your bills? Are they mentoring you? Are they helping you on your path? Are they doing anything for you, you know? These people that you care about so much don't make a difference to your life. And you're placing the value on them instead of on yourself. Like, you have to recognize who you are in this story, right? You're living in this avatar. I'm living in my avatar right now. Like, this is my avatar. This is my lifetime. You're living in your avatar, your lifetime. And recognize that's what matters, because this is the life that you were given, and this is the life you have to work with, right? So stop constantly focusing on other people's avatars and lives when you have so much potential right here. You have so much potential right there, right? You have all the potential in you, and you have to start looking at yourself like you're the main character. Like, everybody used to say that, like, the main character energy, but it's just the truth. Like, you are the main character of your story right now, and nothing, and no matter how cool somebody else is, no matter how pretty somebody else is, no matter how wealthy somebody else is, it doesn't make them the main character of your story. That's just impossible. You are the main character of your story because you're the only person, you're the only avatar that you have control over. Recognize what you have control over and take the control. Take the control. Nothing is stopping you besides yourself, right? Number 4, we have to start building the trust within ourselves. And the reason why we have to build trust within ourselves is that's literally what counters self-doubt. That's literally what builds self-belief and self-confidence, is building trust. How do you build trust? Think about it. How would you build trust with someone else? It's really giving them the ability to prove themselves, right? Building trust with someone is the same as like building trust with yourself. It's giving someone, you have to give them the ability to build the trust. Nobody's going to be able to build trust with you unless you give them the ability. So here's how you build trust with yourself. You give yourself the ability to build trust. And what does that mean? It means you put yourself into situations that you are uncomfortable with, that you're scared of, and you prove to yourself that you can do it. You prove to yourself that you can even try to do it. You prove to yourself that you can be in situations that are challenging, that you can start things that scare you, that you can put yourself in positions that are uncomfortable and still try your best to do what you can. And this is building trust, because then it means for the next time something else comes up. And I'm going to give an example. Like, when I first started like getting into health and wellness, I had this opportunity of talking at this college to the administrative staff about nutrition. At this time, I wasn't nutrition certified yet, and I barely knew what I was talking about, but I knew that I knew enough to give a 10-minute talk on how people can better their nutrition. I knew enough, but I was so scared. Public speaking has always been something I was scared of. Public speaking has always been something that I want to do in my future, though. So I recognize this is part of understanding what I want out of life. I recognize that public speaking is going to be a part of my future, and I recognize that I'm scared of public speaking, and that's the perfect combination for an opportunity to build trust with yourself, right? So I immediately, when that opportunity was faced with myself, my first thought was, hell no, that's scary as hell. Like, these people are all older than me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm doing. I've never done that before, blah, 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 right? And I was working on my confidence, and I was recognizing all these negative patterns, negative thoughts, and I was like, girl, you know this is the opportunity, that's the perfect opportunity. When something scares you, when your mind starts racing about all the things that could go wrong, this is the opportunity to build the confidence. This is the opportunity to build the trust. So I just automatically was like, the fact that my brain is running so much to try, it's my ego. The fact that my ego is running so much to try to protect itself from feeling rejected, from feeling like I don't know what I'm doing, is literally a sign to do it. So right off the bat, I said yes before even letting myself talk myself out of it. I said yes, and guess what? I went to that administrative college. I gave my talk. Yes, it wasn't the best talk, okay? I got my information across though. I prepared for it. I got my information across. Yeah, my voice was shaky. Yes, people could probably tell I don't public speak a lot. But what mattered was that situation alone allowed for all the next situations that came up. That gave me like something to think about, like, oh, I trust myself. That was an example of a time that I did something that I was scared of and I still pulled through for myself, even if it wasn't perfect, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be the fact that I tried. So this building trust with myself, like this instance, was a big part of, in the coming future, keep on doing things that gave me the same type of confidence, right? So it's things like that. You have to figure out what aligns with you, what's something that you want to be doing but scares you, and do that, right? My next point is real confidence comes from focusing on the greater purpose. Instead of constantly focusing on yourself. Like, I feel like people, and myself included, who have a low self-confidence, it's like you're constantly thinking about you. You know, it's kind of even like selfish in a way if you think about it. Like, you're just constantly worried about yourself. And something that helps build confidence is just taking all your thoughts that are constantly surrounded on yourself and putting that energy to something that matters. Putting that energy into your purpose in this world. Your purpose in this world is something that you might not know right now, but you have different things that you know you can put your time to that is greater than how you think about yourself. There are things that matter more than what you think about yourself. And I think that's something that helped me with my confidence is like, girl, there's a lot bigger things to worry about than to worry about, oh, do I feel fat today? Or, oh, am I not good enough? Like, it's kind of empowering in a way to take yourself out of constantly being self-involved and put that energy into, how can I make this world a better place? How can I do something that matters? How can I put this energy into developing myself or developing something that means something, you know? And this is where also like hobbies and side hustles can come in. In this tip, I'm just talking about how you can refocus this energy that you are expending on worrying about yourself, worrying about what you're insecure about, and refocusing it onto things that you can do to make the world better or do to make yourself better. So instead of like ruminating in this like self-pity and this like insecurity, you can be busy doing something that matters to you. You can pick up new hobbies, and you can pick up things that you want to work on, like a side hustle that you want to start, or like little things that you can start doing that will help you in the future, educating yourself, things like that. Because not only will working on hobbies, starting a side hustle, educating yourself make you feel more confident, because it's teaching you more skills, it's teaching you more, it's going to make you feel, not make you feel, but it's going to bring you to a place where you are further than a past version of yourself in whatever way. But besides that, it's leaving less room to constantly worry about what you're insecure about. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we only have so much room in our brain to think, and so if you just use that room that you're thinking about your insecurities and put it into things like that, then you'll have less room to worry about your insecurities. So that kind of helps. And like I said, focusing on those types of things just makes you more confident, because it's building yourself up. It's building a version of yourself that is more knowledgeable, that is more set up for the future, that's putting more work into yourself or into something for the world to make the world a better place. And this goes hand in hand with my next tip, which is to stop the self-pity, you know, like a lot of these tie into each other, but you know, that room in your brain that you spend worrying about yourself, it's coming from a place of victimizing yourself and coming from a self-pitying type of mindset where you're like so worried about the fact that everything is terrible for you. You're so worried about the fact that everybody has it easier than you, or everybody is prettier than you, everybody is more successful than you, blah, 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 blah. And instead of just recognizing that everybody's on their own journey and you comparing yourself is doing nothing for you. It's just like living in this victim mentality that doesn't serve you. And the victim mentality is a scary place to be in because it's just a cycle of feeling not good enough and therefore not bettering yourself, and therefore feeling not good enough and therefore not bettering yourself. And it's a cycle. And the only way to stop this cycle of like self-pity and victim mentality is to change the inner dialogue, to change the narrative in your head. And the way to change the narrative in your head is to start using positive self-talk and affirming and redirecting your thoughts. And the way you do this is by figuring out what exactly are the stories, the sentences, the words that you tell yourself that are helping you stay in this lack, in this victim mentality, recognizing which words, which sentences, which stories, and pinpointing them. And when they come up in your head, you have to be analyzing your thoughts a lot in order to become more confident, because you have to be able to pinpoint the thoughts that are not serving you. And then when the thought comes up, like let's say a thought that I used to deal with a lot was, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not even like qualified for this, right? So whenever that thought would come up, it was pinpointed in my head, so I would be able to analyze it right away and be like, oh, you're thinking that negative thought again. You're thinking that thought that's helping you stay insecure. And right away, I would redirect it and change it to a positive thing. So if my negative thought was, oh, you're not qualified for this, I would quickly change it to, I am so excited to learn more about this topic and to put my all into learning about this so that I can be qualified and keep learning and, stuff like that. Everybody starts somewhere and nobody starts qualified. Everybody has to start somewhere. So like I would start, reframing that thought, and like that automatically reframing your thought over and over and over again would mean that at a certain point, that thought of I'm not qualified will stop coming up. Instead, you'll only be thinking like, oh, I'm so excited to learn more, to be more educated. I'm so excited to be in a space where I, feel so qualified, but I'm excited that I'm even on this journey at all and that I am qualified enough to do this, And something that really helped me with changing like my own self-talk, like positive self-talk, was this book I read called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter, PhD. And this was a book that it was all about you can create the energy to turn your dreams into reality by knowing the secrets of what to say when you talk to yourself. So in this book, he just talked all about the power of self-talk when it comes to verbally, mentally, and like writing things about yourself, phrases about yourself. And he also gave like a lot of great positive self-talk examples and phrases that I use personally to this day. Reframing your thoughts from self-pity to self-empowerment is key to self-confidence. And something that goes hand in hand with building trust within yourself is like this fake it till you make it type of thing, which it also goes with positive self-talk. I think a lot of the time people think the confidence is only gonna come when a certain goal comes, right? Like let's say if people are like, oh, I'll be confident at the gym when I lose 30 pounds. Oh, I'll be confident in my job when I make 30 successful sales calls. Oh, I'll be confident in my career when I reach whatever it is, right? People sometimes they put the confidence at the end goal, but in reality, the confidence can be here right now. The confidence should be here right now. That's what's going to help us get to the end goal, actually. Being confident and understanding that you are not waiting for an end goal to come in order to feel confident, because we're not waiting around to live our best version of ourselves. It kind of bothers me when I see people thinking that they will only be the best version of themselves when a certain thing is here, when they reach a certain goal, right? When in reality, goals are amazing, but you can be the best version of yourself while going after that goal, right? Like, I have so many goals for myself, weekly, monthly, yearly, in my life, and I'm not waiting till I reach the goal to feel like the best version of myself. I'm not waiting to reach my goal to feel like I'm the most elevated, best version of myself. No, I'm gonna be the most elevated, best version of myself today, right now. You know why? Because you can. Why wouldn't you be? You only have today. At the end of the day, it's great that we have goals and ambition. Tomorrow's not promised. So why are you gonna wait till tomorrow to feel like the best version of yourself? Take control, take action today to be the best version of yourself right now. And a way you can do that is faking it till you make it, which means not comparing yourself and just starting where you're at, and allow yourself the understanding that everybody starts from somewhere. Some people have steps up in life and some people have a step down from you in life, right? Everybody's on their own journey. Like I said, blinders are on. It doesn't matter where people are starting. All that matters is understanding that nobody starts at the top, right? Nobody starts at their goal. Everybody has goals that they're reaching. And so you don't have to be at the goal to feel like that best version of yourself. My next tip is to embody this attract instead of a chase. So we want to let go of any type of chase that we feel in our life. Any type of feeling like we have to run after something. Feeling like you have to beg for something. Because we are amazing people. We are the best version of ourselves right now. We are living in the moment right now. And everything that's meant for you will be for you, right? Like, you know that saying that's like, you can't lose anything that was meant for you. That's the kind of mentality that I live by, that you should live by. You cannot lose anything that's meant for you. Therefore, you should never be chasing something, or when an opportunity goes away, or when you get rejected from something, which rejection is literally a part of life. It's not that scary if you don't let it be. If you get rejected from something, if you lose an opportunity that you wanted, if your life's not going the way you want it to go, that does not mean you lost on something. Because everything is happening for a reason. There's a purpose in everything. And we're just sitting here and attracting what is meant for us. We're putting the work in, and what's meant for us is gonna happen. And what's not meant for us won't happen. So therefore, when you know that with your insides, and the only way to know that is to constantly reaffirm that, then things that don't come to you, you can just let go. You're not worried about it. Like, being in a chase is feeling like you have to run after things. I don't feel like I have to run after things because I know that everything that's meant to happen will happen. Everything that's meant to come to me will come to me. So, don't be in the chase. When you feel like you're chasing after something, when you feel like you're running after something, when you feel like you're trying to grab something and it just doesn't want you, just let it go. Bring yourself back. Use that positive self-talk to pinpoint that negative thought and reaffirm to yourself, if it's not meant for me, it's not meant for me. What's meant for me will come. Let it go and let it flow. Before we get into the tangible things that you can be doing on a daily, practices that you can be doing on a daily to help you, I want to just talk about really quick. Look good, feel good, look the part, feel the part. And I wanted to talk about this at the end because this is something that's more physical, more materialistic, but it's still super important, you know? After all the mindset shifting and all the different techniques that we just talked about, what is also a huge tool in the toolbox, which is, that's why I talked about it at the end, because I didn't want anybody to get an idea of that's the main thing. This is just a tool in the toolbox, but how you feel about the way you look makes a difference, right? If you're going into a business meeting and you know that wearing a suit that makes you feel good, wearing your hair up a certain way, putting on your makeup a certain way will make you feel like you're embodying that person that you want to be, then you should do it, right? For me, a big part of feeling confident in the gym, feeling confident in what I was doing in the gym, was looking the part. I started to buy more workout sets, and figure out what exactly I liked on my body, what made me feel good, what made me feel confident. Because before then I had a bunch of workout clothes that made that I didn't like how my body looked in it, you know? And if you're working out and you're staring at your body, it's important to feel good. So I was just exploring myself with different types of workout clothes that made me feel different types of ways. And I started to find things that made me feel confident in myself, things that made me feel like I was embodying this version of myself that loved to work out, that felt good in what I was wearing, that felt good in my body. And what I was wearing made a difference. That shit makes a difference. So use it to your advantage. Things like clothes, like your hygiene, like fitness, looking good, you know, feeling healthy, feeling good within yourself, has a lot to do with like the way your body feels also. Like if you're taking care of your body, you don't have to be, like I was just talking about, you don't have to be at that goal body that you want. You could be working towards it and still love your body on the process, right? But what helps us love our body is just taking care of it. And taking care of your body helps you feel confident because you're really putting all that time and energy into yourself for your own self-care, not for any type of external validation. It's because we as people should be taking care of our vessels. You know, movement, eating well, dressing ways that makes us feel confident, wearing makeup if it makes you feel good. That is all things, and like hygiene, different things like that. That is all things that is here helping our vessels really portray a picture of how we feel internally, externally, right? You know when people say like, oh, you're really beautiful inside and out, it's because a lot of the time like how you feel inside is what will show outside. And we have different ways and different tools to help our outsides match how we feel on the inside. And like it's like a reciprocative relationship where if you feel good about how you feel on the outside, it'll help you feel better in the inside, and vice versa. If you feel good about your insides, it'll help you feel better about your outsides. So let's just take advantage of this opportunity in this symbiotic relationship. Use the both to build this unshakable, confident version of yourself. And now that we're done with all of that, those tips, my last thing I wanted to close off with was just like some tangible practices that you should be doing daily, weekly, that will help you with your confidence. So I'm just going to list them off, not get too into it, but journaling to understand yourself is so important. If this is nightly or weekly, it should be nightly or weekly. Journal about your thoughts, your feelings, and things about life. It'll help you understand yourself. It'll help you gain clarity. It'll help you just be more in touch with how you feel. So journaling. My second one is affirmations. Constantly affirming to yourself that you are confident. Constantly affirming to yourself and redirecting those negative thoughts into positive thoughts, into empowering thoughts. Affirmations are so important, and you should be saying affirmations verbally to yourself, saying affirmations in your head constantly, and writing out affirmations as well. And then we have be around people who inspire you to be the best version of yourself and that embody also this confident version of themselves. Because when you're around other people who have this internal unshakable confidence, it helps you want to be that as well, and you are who you surround yourself with. So if you're around a bunch of insecure people, it'll help you stay insecure. So be selective with who you're around, be around people who inspire you. Do things that you're scared of. I make it a goal for myself, either daily or weekly, to do something that I'm scared of. Usually weekly, sometimes I forget, but usually at least once a week, if I am faced with a situation that I'm like, damn, I'm scared of that, I'm gonna do it. Just like a couple days ago, I wanted to get on a call with someone about investing, and I was so scared. The second I felt that I was scared, I made myself do it, you know, and I feel so much better. I feel like I'm talking really fast in this video, but it's because like I'm passionate and I wanted to like make this video like more tips, more just like laid out. And then my fifth one is do hobbies, find new things that inspire you, find things that you can fill your time with, and stop being bored. Bro, so much self-pity, so much anxiety, so much worry, so much overthinking comes from being bored. Boredom comes from a lack of like doing things that fulfill you, a lack of things that bring you purpose. So find new things. There are so many things out there for you to be doing. Do your research, explore, and do more things that make you feel good, that make you feel like you're living life, experience new things, and work and educate yourself to be the best version of yourself. That's all for today, but I also wanted to say I do have the Busy Girl Wellness Guide for anybody who's wanting to start your wellness journey, to build this self-confidence, to get into fitness or nutrition. I have this like 15-page guide that is perfect for anybody who's just starting out or who wants to reignite some type of passion for your fitness or wellness journey. And it's completely free. I'll link it down below, the Busy Girl Wellness Guide. It's perfect for being re-inspired. As a 3-day workout split. If you don't know where to start in the gym, it has 4 recipe ideas. If you don't know what to eat, it has positive self-talk phrases that are perfect for building that inner resilience, that self-belief, and it has like different meditation practices to help us slow down, to get more in touch with ourselves, which is so important when it comes to confidence. So if you want to check that out, it's completely free. The link is in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I love you, and remember to live mindfully, breathe deeply, and it all comes from yourself. You hold all the control.